DocuX, Deepak Dhanak-ji, who is a member of our esteemed fraternity, IIM graduate, and a Harvard Business School alumni. Please, I request you, sir, to take your place on the dais. Now it is the turn of the third esteemed panelist, the Chief Audit Executive and the VP of the Flipkart Group, a data scientist, an advisor to the Audit Desk who believes that the future belongs to data-driven organizations. I'm honored to request Mr. Rajiv Gupta, sir, to please come up on the stage. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is the most important person of this technical session, the chair and the moderator of the session, a man who needs no introduction, is a mercurial figure in chartered accountancy domain, past president ICAI, who gave back to his fraternity by building a CA Gurukul, none other than our very own CA, Uttam Prakash Agarwal, sir. I had the opportunity of knowing him personally, so I know he's a better human being than a chartered accountant. I welcome you, all of you, sir. Now, won't stand a moment, and I request the Central Council member to please give his opening remarks.
Thank you, Chavi. Good afternoon. Do you have lunch? So, after lunch, what is the thrust? What is the need to work more for? Because you had a food, now it's a food of thought for you. And that is in the track D. The D track is symbolizing digital age and also dynamics. And for that, we have our past president, Uttam Prakash Agarwal, sir, as a session chairman, who is a dynamic person and who will lead this 1 hour discussion towards such a concluding end that you people will feel that yes, it was a worthwhile session to attend for. Then we have panelists Rajiv Gupta sir, then Deepak sir, Mahtab ji, and all the dignitaries and all the participants in front of me. Welcome to this session. Friends, why this session is important? If you look at the wording of the session, dynamics, then practice, then management, and then digital age. Dynamics is such a word that it gives us a reference that everything is changing, the world is changing, people are changing, time changing, technology changing, every regulatory framework, every country is changing, having something new. And in that, we are doing practice. Doing practice itself is a tough job. And we chartered accountants are there in practice. Yes, we also know that new members are joining job rather than in practice. So there is a shortage of manpower or there is a lack of new blood in the profession. So the existing members need to align with the dynamics and the digital changes which are happening. Under this CMP committee, we have done a survey and we come to notice, Uttam sir, that 40% and above are the senior members in practice, whose age in practice or time in practice is 15 years and above. Then comes 10 to 15 is 27%, and the young members in practice is 15 to 18% coming. So if we look at these dynamics, there are the members in our profession who are unable to change themselves. So we have to focus on them and also encourage new members to join the practice with the digital tool, with the digital knowledge. And then comes the word management of practice. Friends, it's normally told that there is no manpower, there is no payment of fees by the client. These two problem statements are common in our practice. But if you merge both of them, the solution is digital tools, digital techniques which are available in practice. If manpower is not there, you just go and have a Microsoft Copilot, which is the new product of the Microsoft. How many of you gone through it? Copilot, good. Our government nominee Jalani sir is also sitting there. Sir, thank you for being here. And our past president Agarwal sir is also there. Subodh Agarwal sir. Sir, Microsoft Copilot is such a product which has merged the dynamics of Microsoft and the generative AI techniques. And this is going to be a part of Office 365. The maximum issue of manpower can be resolved by learning Copilot. And then comes the another, fees. Friends, if we give quality services, timely services, committed services, then fees is not a problem. And to do all these things, quality, timely, and commitment, technological tools are there. How many of you have practice management software in your office? Can you raise the hand? Good number. What are the others doing? So this is the first step. Have a practice management software in your office to establish a platform to lead toward the digital age. So with these words, I welcome you all for this session. Let's enjoy the session. We also have a both side discussion from practicing chartered accountant as well as the clients which are there from the corporate world who are the empanelists. So we have a 360-degree view of the effect of digitalization on our practice and the future that is going to be there in digital world. So with this word, I wish you all a happy learning and thank you. Chavi.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us with the vision and letting us know and setting the tone. Now I request the chairman of the session to please come up for his opening remarks and set the tone of the panel discussion.
Good afternoon. So good afternoon. I think our Honorable President, Mr. Talati, and Vice President Ranjit Agarwal has ensured that very good food arrangement and put me after the lunch session to take care of, and that to the subject of digital age, how our profession will be. Let me begin with thanking our Honorable Vice President Dhanak Sahab. Friends, let me tell you, I am in the profession since 1988. Like member, I used to attend the program seminar of our institute at various level. And then I became a part of the regional council and the central council. And then president, after that vice president, past president, all. We must also thank our Honorable Vice President that first time in my life, any dignitary who has come and appreciated our chartered accountancy professions, what our forefather has contributed to the development of this country, whatever people says, the country, India, wherever we are, we have contributed a lot. I request each one of you, right, we must tweet to the Vice President, thanking him because let the people understand who run this country, what is the power of chartered accountants. I also remember when the topic was given to me in 2000 when I was the chairman of Western India Regional Council. I had a tagline for the year, not today, 2000. When I interacted with the library student on the second floor of West India office, and I asked the young people, not qualified, how you foresee the CA profession in next 10, 20 years. So two young boys, they were the final student. They say, sir, towards technology trillium. I like that particular tagline. When I finalized, we have a process of felicitation of president program, and our very senior past president, very respectable Bansi Mehta ji, who came and he said, ये कल का बच्चा उसको समझ में नहीं आता, is writing about the towards technology trillium this CA profession. How it is possible that the CA profession, chartered accountancy profession, will have an important role to play through the technology. But today, with the proud, I can say that our chartered accountancy, our practice, and even our industry, we have a very important role to play as a chartered accountant. In again 2009-10, after the success of MCA, when we all people equipped with working with a computer, we already with the software, Tally and other software, your way, so many accounting packages were there. But after the introductions at MCA, we signed a MOU with the Central Board of Excise and Custom. And from ICAI, we provided the software, and the filing of service tax return started online. After that, in same 2009-10, when XBRL was introduced in India, friends, most of us, we know that in USA, filing of one XBRL return quarterly, the fees was $6,250. In a year, $25,000. We got it in India. We tried that, yes, we should implement XBRL in India, because a lot of people sitting in the audience, they know that what is XBRL. That whenever the chartered accountant, when we sign the balance sheet financial statement, we give to our client. What they do, they just take away the notes to the accounts, auditor report, and all these things. So bank or wherever they go, they give the balance sheet, profit and loss account, schedules, and all these things. Generally, that is prepared by them, not by chartered accountant. But whenever things goes wrong, all the regulators blame to the chartered accountant, auditors and all. So that was the thought process. The moment chartered accountant signed the financial statement, put on the depository, data on the one place, any regulator they want information, there is a taxonomy, banking, GST, income tax, convert the data and use it. But what has happened? The regulator, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, they were not having any person who understands real the XBRL. At even ICAI level, we put a chartered accountant who never thought it that the technology become a very important part for all of us. Now what has happened? Great opportunity came to all of us through the technology system. Now I think XBRL filing 500, 1,000, 2,000. This is the waiver. Before discussing, because we have all, Sharma-ji, these are all three are from industry, right? You and me only from the practice, and I almost out. So we will have a great interaction with these people, because ultimately, if we set the system in our offices, but what is their expectation, how we will be able to play, how we will be able to serve them, what will happen to their security system, to their data, right? How it is convenient, time saving, it is a cost wise. I will request each one of, I have a set of questions, but if member, you have anything special, after we have a set of questions, if something is left out, 2, 3, 4 questions, time permit, certainly we will take up this. With this few remark, and Rajiv Gupta ji, Deepak, Dhanak ji, and I welcome our guest from Bangladesh, Mahtab, Uddin, Ahmed, to this session. I also already asked him that you have to speak. Even the Bangladesh is also like all of us. So first question, what I'll ask Rajiv ji. Right, coming there. Because whenever, till I come, he will complete the answer. So saving the time. How has the digital age impacted client expectation first, and how can we ensure effective client engagement in this context? Rajiv, to you.
Yes, sir. Hello, you can hear me, right? So, sir, your expectation was very high from me that by the time you will come back, I will complete the answer. So while e-commerce industry is very fast, but that was too high an expectation. So, sir, with digital age, what is happening? Everything is coming onto the system. Everything is becoming digital data. And hence you will see any new age company is actually a data-driven company. Now, when everything is getting captured in the form of data, even for example, when you open any mobile app, be it Zomato, Swiggy, Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, whatever you are doing, how many times you clicked on that app on a particular page, how many seconds you spent on a particular page, how many times you went back and then came in, everything is getting captured. Why it is getting captured? So that tomorrow, as the data analysis capabilities become more mature, that amount of data can be analyzed to give you better customization. Because if you went inside multiple times and didn't purchase and came out, it means there was some problem, maybe with the product, maybe the color, maybe the size, maybe the pricing, and so on. And hence, you didn't make the purchase. So in case of a new age organization, digital organization, data is becoming very, very important. And hence, any consulting firm, be it a small size, medium size, large size, whosoever has the capability to help us take out insights from that data is something which is getting prioritized. Now you may say that big companies would always prefer big four. Yeah, that is actually not the case, because every company wants to get things done at the right price. No company today has unlimited funds, and hence every company. So this is my third company. I have seen that we always look for capability. Other than statutory audit, where the stamp is required, big companies in all other things, they would like to get things done at the right price. So in case you have the capability, and you can very easily develop that capability, because today with the open source data analysis software, you can get a lot of learning, a lot of tools implemented at almost free of cost. Gone are the days where you had only option of buying license and only then doing advanced data analysis. Now with things like Python, R, even Power BI for that sake, because Microsoft has done very amazing thing that they have bundled it up. Power BI, they have bundled with the Microsoft suite, which they are now selling, so that the adoption of Power BI increases. So if you see, this entire ecosystem is now getting almost zero cost. The only investment which you have to do is your own time investment. So if you do that, and if you bring the value proposition to the corporates, we don't differentiate whether you are a big four or not a big four. So, sir, that would be my response.
First of all, I don't understand what is the big four. Still, I feel the big 20.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. But there are so many thousands of CA firms in India. So big 20 is still very different than rest of, because that's a I would say misconception which small firms have, that big companies will give business only to big 20, for example. Yeah. So me being from the other side, I am sharing that's not the case. We, even in Flipkart and also in my previous company, we used to engage a lot of non-big four, non-big 20 firms, because they give the same quality services at the right cost to the company. Yeah.
You said about the chartered accountant only required for signature and all. Statutory requirement. But all the balance sheet of 24 is finalized by all the company almost. Only the process quarterly, the audit and all these things. But whatever they decide the figure in advance. How will the quality of a chartered accountant will be helpful for that?
So, see, upgrading, upskilling definitely is required, because we'll take a pause. There's, I think, the other.
Keep very strong on which sectors, which countries are really.
If I am speaking, are you able to hear me? No.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Super. So, sir, absolutely right. Upskilling even for the chartered accountant within the company is absolutely required, because whether you talk about Tally, whether you talk about Zoho or Khata Book or whichever, software the companies are using, the companies are moving from older ways of working. And hence, and since everything is coming onto the systems, whether you are a 50-year-old experienced chartered accountant or a 5-year-old experience, upskilling is required for everyone. And the same applies not only to chartered accountant, even for doctors. If you go to a doctor who says, I did my MBBS 30 years ago, after that I didn't read any research paper, any new ways of treating the patients, you will be worried. You will say, no baba, I'll go to that doctor who knows the latest technologies, who know ki laser, I had to use laser or any other technology. So it applies to anybody who is in the profession, and hence to us as chartered accountants as well, sir.
Mahtab ji, in Bangladesh, lot of SME, SMPs are there. Now, what are the key challenges in transformation from traditional to era of digital?
Thanks a lot. I think challenges are quite a lot because we are going through a transition journey, like transformation from traditional age to digital age. And the first challenge is resistance to change. And my 30 years of corporate experience, what I've observed, like accountants are the first one to resist. And their psychological reason. One reason is whenever you try to change, there is a fear of not making it right. And always you have to remember, whenever you try to change something, first time it may not be right, but second time it can be right. But someone has to have the knowledge and ability to take that risk and transform it over a period of time. So I think the resistance to change. And another thing I've observed among ourselves, I think I worked in many countries, and it's not limited to Bangladeshi accountants. All the accountants in all parts of the world, they have a syndrome called I know it all. Once you know it all, then you can't learn anything new and you cannot understand the transition that's taking place. Around us, a lot of things are changing, but can we really track that out? And another thing in that perspective I can say is, look, first of all, I'm also from accounting. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to criticize myself and our own profession. That, it's like, if I share a story with you, then you will understand what I'm trying to say. There is in the garden, one of the guy who always sell, topis. You understand topi in the garden. So one day, sunny day, he got too tired after lunch, like most of you are tired now, or maybe some of you are sleeping. No problem with that. So that topi also got tired and he went into sleep. And that garden had many monkeys, and that monkeys came down and pick up all his topis, which he was selling. And after he woke up, he got completely frustrated. He had only one topi on his head, and he just threw it like this. And looking at his action, all the monkeys also dropped their hat just like that. Wow, so that guy was so amused with the action from monkeys. So he went home and was sharing that story with his grandchildren. Look, this is something happened today with me. So going forward 50 years later, again, one of his grandson was selling topi and had similar kind of incidents. And he immediately remembered 50 years back, his grandfather said that. And he repeated that. Without second thinking, he put his head down. And what happened this time? Monkeys were not throwing their hat. So he was asking those monkeys, what happened? Why you were not throwing your hat? He said, 50 years back, my grandfather also said the same thing that happened with him. So the moral of the story is, what worked yesterday, or what success you got yesterday, doing the same thing, you may not get the success today or tomorrow. I think as accountant, we need to understand that we have to continuously innovate ourselves. We have to continuously understand what's new is coming up. The second point I would like to highlight, all this AI data analytics we are talking about is all associated with bringing transparency. In transparency in whatever we have been doing, and transparency in whatever we will be doing. And again, I want to share one example here. Because transparency is getting to a level, if we don't do our job correctly, we'll get caught. The standards, the new regulations, and the way things are moving is unbelievable. I can share one of the example of Australia. My family lives there, and I was trying to help my wife to submit his tax file. you know, the moment I enter into the system, basically all the data was there. If you put their NID card, like the one that you have in India as well, sorry? PAN card. With that, all the information, what was your bank interest, what is your BO account in the stock market investment, each and every bit comes into your calculations. So if you have that kind of system, do you have any chance of evading tax or avoiding tax? You have very little room to do that. I'm just giving one example. Going forward, that's life will be far more transparent. And the example I can give you is, in a house, it's not, lie detector is not something new, right? It's a 50 years old technology. So a example is like that. One bought a lie detector robot at home. And he can detect lie, and if someone making a lie, then he slaps. So one day in the evening, late evening, the guy's son came back home and father was asking, what happened to you? Why you are coming so late? So the boy very smartly and confidently said, Dad, I went out for a group studies, and the robot was standing there and he slapped on his face. So then father said, tell me the truth, what happened? What's happening? So he said, actually, I went out with my girlfriend. Then father's reaction was, oh my God, at this age, you're thinking about girlfriend. During our time, we didn't know what girlfriend stands for. So immediately robot slap on father's face. Then after getting the slap, then mother was standing behind. Then she said, like father, like son. And immediately she got slapped as well. So you can understand. The point again I'm trying to make is life is going to get more and more transparent. These machines, this AI, these algorithms will make our life so transparent, even if we want to deviate things, we want to do things differently, we will not be able to do that. So last but not the least, I'll say one last point that for all of us, understand what we don't know. Often I find out we don't know what we don't know. I think that is something very, very important. We have to start with what we call a skill gap. First start with, I don't know anything. Then figure out what I know. And that's how you build up your knowledge, and always believe you are a step behind the progress that is happening. And if we admit that, definitely we can beat all the odds that is ahead of us. Thank you, sir.
That is the reason I keep telling my all chartered accountant that whenever I interact with a student or members, you explain them any global opportunity, right? But moment they go out of this hall, you may discuss today, we are discussing. Moment they go out, they start asking the council member or any people, can I have a tax audit, bank audit, empanelment, TDS filing, right? This way. So I keep telling them, you just take a rest from all these things for 6 months. I know what way the chartered accountant has been produced by my institute. What the caliber, because I salute to all the chartered accountants. It's not an easy task to qualify chartered accountancy, right? But we people have not understood so far what is the capability we have. Hardly 4 lakh chartered accountant in this whole population of 140. So 6 months, if they take the rest, I know that something will come from, because we have a lot of knowledge, we have not tried to understand ourselves. We start believing on machines, not believing in ourselves. You said about the resistance, we have already seen. When the income tax department started technology, all people start going for strike and all these things, but now all the people, they are happy. Because earlier, to change the assessment order, depends on your negotiation. It used to take time. But now immediately, because of technology, they can change the figure, addition, subtraction, and all these things. You said about transparency. How many people believe in the transparency? Neither regulators require, nor the auditee require. Only chartered accountants are blamed. They are not supporting the transparency. I don't think any chartered accountant today, they say that they are not happy to give that true and fair balance sheet. I myself, as a Yes Bank director, you all people have seen, I brought a lot of transparency. These are our governance failure and everything. Whether the regulator taken any actions, these are all discussion point, right? The resistance, transparency, but ultimately human being we are all. We all see ourselves first, how I am secured, right? So it's a good that discussion is happening, and you said that all three people were slapped by the robot, but the chartered accountant will not get slapped from anybody. Right? So we believe in the transparency, and whatever we speak, whatever we say, that is always true and fair, but people don't understand what we speak. Deepak ji, what are the expectations from from industry, from the CA firm who are providing various service to you, from technology understanding and readiness?
Hi, everyone. So before I answer your question, let me just set some bit of a background. I am in the industry right now, but I have seen all sides of the table. I was practicing for more than 13 years. First 9 years as my own practice, then with PwC before I moved to industry. And in the industry also, I had worked with the global organizations, and now I am a co-founder of a startup myself. So I've seen more sides of the table, and I have provided services to our clients as an individual, as a Big Four, and I have also availed services as an MNC or as a small startup. So I have seen the scale from both the sides. Having said that, let me just tell you, there are a few buckets, and Rajiv actually alluded to it. There are a few buckets in which, as an industry or as a customer or as a client, whatever we call it, I expect my service provider, certain roles to play. The buckets are, one is that things that I have to come to you because of the regulations, correct? Which is what he alluded to about auditing and other stuff. I have no choice. I have to come to a chartered accountant. Then there are services which are not our statutory services, but our business services, which are value-added services, advisory services, where I come to you for capability primarily, okay? And in either of this case, whether I'm looking to you as a service availer or as a client or as somebody who is looking for a business partner, there are few fundamental things that I'm looking at. One is a capability, whether you have knowledge in the area where I need help, whether it is technology, whether it is audit, whether it is valuation, whether it is tax advisory or merger and acquisitions, anything, capability, correct? And there, the expectation is that, and I agree with him where he said that, okay, for certain things, there is a primary recourse to look at big people or big fours or something like that. But we are, as an industry, actually more happy to deal with small and medium firms and individuals, because that is where we have a better connection. With big fours, I'm dealing with systems more than I'm dealing with people. With big firms, I don't even know, who is ultimately advising me. It's a system through which a advice or a report or everything is generated. So if I am looking for an advice, I would always look for a person behind the advice, whether he has the capability, whether he has the system, whether he has the support and internal processes that support that advice that he's giving. So first, I look at the capability. The second, what I look at is the readiness to match my pace as an industry. What he mentioned, everything in startup, everything in technology area, or most of the businesses are today, a technology business. I mean, banking, for example, if you walk into any of the banks, correct? Hardly people know banking any day. I mean, today they are I'm with due respect, okay? Most of people are data entry operators. They are just inputting data and they are just following system throws at you. They can't solve the banking problem. Why? Because there is no knowledge, correct? Now, that kind of an organization is dealing in and out, both ways, with data only, correct? I, for example, might be using NetSuite, Oracle, Khata Book, Zoho, Tally. Is my service provider capable to handle that source of data, correct? What is your digital readiness in terms of accepting the input that I give you based on which you are going to give me data? Because without data, you are not going to give me anything, correct? So what I look for is capability. What I look for is your digital readiness. Do you have the capability within your system with individuals that are working on my assignment? Do they have the ability to understand the systems that I use? Do they have the ability to put on top of it, the data that efficiently and from 360-degree perspective provide a service? Yesterday, I was talking to one of my colleagues, and we are looking at 26 AS reconciliation softwares and all that. And I just mentioned to him that I was trying to look at it, yesterday only with one of my friends. I was trying to see whether ChatGPT, okay, can interpret the income tax rules and regulations. And the first, by inadvertence, first or whatever we call it, I gave the first assignment to ChatGPT was a TDS reconciliation. What I did, I uploaded section 192 se leke 198, okay? I uploaded relevant rules. Then I uploaded few invoices. Then I uploaded related accounting entries, okay, which was an CSV generated by the system. And then I uploaded 26 AS in PDF format. In less than 15 second, ChatGPT told me where I have deducted TDS wrong, where I have deposited wrong, where my tax calculation was wrong, where the delay was there, and what were the outstanding items in reconciliation, correct? Now, we have to be pragmatic in adopting and adapting to the new technologies. If we stick to the input-output mechanism only, okay, it's not going to help. You have to become intelligent. 26AS reconciliation is not a reconciliation between what is your tally showing and what is 26AS showing. What client requires is telling and giving an assurance that I've deducted right, I've deposited right, and I've got a credit right. Correct? So who is looking from the 360-degree perspective, even of even a smallest item like this? Forget about big items. The world is sold by small items multiple times. There is nothing like big that happens, one fine day. Flip of the switch never happens in the world. Correct? So what we look for as a client is readiness from all this perspective, that I come from a huge technology understanding and technological setup behind. Can you match that pace? Correct? Now, there will be challenges at your end. Sorry, I'll just take 2 more minutes. But there will be challenges at our end, correct? First of all, we are too busy in our day-to-day work. We don't have time to improve. Absolutely not. And this is what I have seen in my practice also. This is what I am seeing even today. It is the same. There is no difference even after 16 years of my leaving the practice. Most of it is the same rut that we are going into it, correct? We have to create a bandwidth and we have to look for capabilities within our system. How many of us employ engineers in our firm? Rarely. I see only one hand. 2, 3. That's all. Correct? Who is going to make you capable in understanding and exploiting the technology? Now, there is another side to the same coin. Technology is going to help you not only provide services to me, but technology will help you becoming more efficient. You reinvent wheel every day, all the time, with every day on every desk of the practice in the office. Why don't we develop workflows? And I'm sorry to say, the practice management softwares that I have seen, I'm too direct sometimes, but it's fine. Pathetic, to be very honest. And we want to be world-class. We can't be with this kind of tools. We have to look beyond. We have to, what you are alluding, take a step back, correct? Don't do anything for some time. You will come up with better insights. You will come up with, that is precisely the point I'm making, Uttam ji. We are so engrossed in going through the life that we have missed the direction in that sense. And then we crib about, big fours doing this and big firms doing this, and we can't do anything, and institute is not doing this thing. I think the solution lies with us in creating the capability of running efficient firms. And that is where, I will come to you. Why? Because I know that XYZ firm has a capability and they can do better than, rest of the world. And big fours don't have a kind of a magic formula. They are on this path earlier than us. That's the only difference. So that awareness, applying the technology, going beyond our comfort zone of hiring, CA articles and CA third attempt student and, qualified accountant in first 3 years. And that's not the area of only hiring that we should look at. Build the capability, correct? That is what we look for as a client when we evaluate a person. Fee is the last thing. What Rajiv said, prove the value, you will get every fee in the world. Anything that you want. The only thing is that I, as a client, should be convinced that there is a value in that investment. Turn that proposition of a fee into the investment, and no client will ever say no to any amount that you propose. correct? So those are the things that we need to, do some bit of an introspection around.
Deepak ji, you said the fees as the last. As it is the company, people take chartered accountant fee as the last. And sometimes it gives you a lot pain when the management says the reduction in expenses. The CFO, CEO, they don't find any other thing other than reducing the fees of my chartered accountant. I am so happy that when you said about the big four, that they are only the machine and all, they are just completed the checklist because I am being part of the disciplinary committee. We have seen in the disciplinary cases, right? What the capability of my SME, SMP, if you travel to my Moffigill area, you will, when you interact with a chartered accountant, they are so serious. And we are the busiest person on this earth.
Yeah.
Right? You see, on the last date, we don't even have our lunch or dinner. Even our wife call us for lunch and dinner, we all fire them. For what? 2,000, 5,000 rupees filing of returns and all.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
You said about the chat GPT, right? Within a 15-second, you resolve and you just come to a conclusion where you were wrong and all this thing. Now, in that aspect only, you just tell us the way the chat GPT and other technology will also come, artificial intelligence, how the chartered accountant who are qualifying after 4.5 years and all, how we will replace or we will be playing important role in that particular era. So continue to that if you can explain.
So, and I mean,
my all chartered
yeah.
accountants start getting fearing कि यार लेटर भी बना दिया इनकम टैक्स का ये भी हो गया वो भी हम करेंगे क्या क्या
No, I think that is it.
or one more thing what you said about my young generation who are going to the all industry, they feel proud. I am in Axis Bank, Morgan Stanley. What they are doing? They are just filling out the form checklist. We have not produced chartered accountant. For that, we have given enough knowledge from our institute side. But they 5, 6, 7, 8 lakh ka pagar mil gaya, we become the great as compared to MBA and all these things. So that mindset, that thought process of my young chartered accountant, thinking that sitting on computer is a technology, it is wrong.
No.
Right?
Yeah. No, this is a great point, and thanks for I mean, pushing me in that direction. I think a couple of friends are there in the audience I see from my Jamnagar days. Okay, and I used to tell them like what 18 years ago, 20 years ago, that in some time to come, all our jobs will be gone. Okay, because what we do is easily replaceable jobs. Okay, with the computerization, then with the digitalization, then with the automation, and then with the artificial intelligence. Whatever we do today is in either of these buckets right now. Okay, there are some parts of our practice or some parts of our statutory duties which are in the digitalization space, some parts are in automation space, some parts are in a AI space. Whatever we do, there are two buckets. Again, your statutory rights to do certain things and your business rights to do certain things. Your statutory right is signing a balance sheet, correct? Signing a certificate or doing a valuation because SEBI rule says so and stuff like that. That is one part of it. Nobody is going to take away except when the act is going to be amended. And why those things are also needed, let's just understand and spend a minute on that. Why regulations require a particular person to do that kind of a job? For two reasons. One is that that person has a skill. He is trained for that. Chartered accountant understands financial statements. Chartered accountants understand accounting, so they can certify or give an opinion on the balance sheet. Okay. So there is a knowledge aspect of it and there is a skill aspect of it. Then there is a second aspect of it, which is a governance aspect of it. That there is a governing body and mechanism on those people to not do something wrong. Why? Because as an economy, as a tax collection, as a measure of fair public money dealing and everything, regulators want to ensure that you are doing your job. You have a skill, you have a knowledge, but they are ensuring through mechanism of regulations and everything that you are doing your job. Okay, so park that for a second. The second side of the practice is what you have trained yourself and you are adding value to the customer. So that side of the business. Now the statutory side of the business, the moment systems are capable to ensure that there are no wrongdoings that are going to happen, the regulations will always take away your rights. If the government tomorrow is able to record all the transactions. They know everything that is happening in your company or in my bank account or with my dealings. Why do I need somebody to certify that? I have the first-hand transactional data. Why do I need third party to audit and give an opinion on it? I can draw that balance sheet myself, correct? So what he's saying, correct? He was saying in Australia, it's right. There are a couple of countries where the government prepares the tax return and sends it to you for review, not chartered accountants, correct? The days are not far that we will see that. I was involved in the business process re-engineering of the tax department. Okay, so I know, and in those days when we were starting to do that in 2006, correct, there was a huge uproar from inside the department, from outside the department also. But today we are at a space, given our size, scale, economy, bureaucracy, democracy, correct? We are at a space where today also when you prepare a return, your bank interest and many other numbers come populated in your tax return. So what has happened in last 10 years is going to happen, 10 times of that automation at the government level is going to happen in next 2. Correct? So there is all the more reason for us to fear that our statutory jobs or statutory responsibilities or rights that are there will be altered or gone. All right? The second aspect of it, any job that you are doing outside of that, where you are not adding a value and it is only a process, will 100% be automated. And you will not need, company will not need a third party to do the data entry, to do the bill processing, to do the customer verification and all that. It will not be needed, correct? The only way to remain future-proof is to find where you are adding value to the customer. And that is by being business partner to the customer, thinking more of a business and value addition, by understanding my business, by understanding my driver, by understanding what I'm looking for from the business partner. So I'm not trying to draw a gloomy picture, but I'm trying to tell you where the things are going to progress. So anybody who is today, you know, is pursuing chartered accountancy, is fresh qualified chartered accountant or 5-year, you know, qualified or 20 years qualified, they have to look at the technology adoption and see what all automation can be done. Now, the example that I gave about the ChatGPT doing a TDS advisory kind of stuff for me, correct? I did it even on the contracts, which is my bread and butter and business, correct, in DocuX. I did that, and, you know, my system gave me a feedback, you know, which I did not need a lawyer to advise me on few documents, correct? So before I adopt those tools, why don't you adopt those tools? Why don't you develop those tools? You know the area of the practice better than I know. I left it 16 years ago or 15 years ago, correct? Why an industry guy is thinking about a holistic 26AS or a TDS reconciliation? You should be the first one to look at it because you face it day in and out. That is the way to future-proof it, correct? Before I solve my problem, you give me a solution. That is the solution. That is going to make sure that, you know, you remain our trusted advisor as a business.
Deepak ji, you said that this practice software and all is pathetic. I also acknowledge. But morning when I met you and when I got your card, so just I Google out. You have very good software and good tools with us. Why don't you, your company, whenever you get a chance to meet our president and vice president, the way we, the tele, Mr. Goenka supported us when I was the president, to provided them some free software or then training at the institute level. And you being a chartered accountant, because most of the software, this practice is not made by chartered accountant. They don't understand what practice manual we require.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So I will request you,
yes,
on the occasion of 75 years, what way you can help to my small and medium chartered accountant joining head with our institute.
Committed, sir.
Right.
Committed.
I come to now, Rajiv ji. Sir, you are with the Flipkart. You have a lot of data with you, all customer and all. So generally in technology, we say the data analytics. How the chartered accountant, or more particularly my small and medium, will be able to understand what is the importance of the data analysis, right? So how they have to prepare, kindly highlight to them.
Sure, sir. So before, sir, I share that, one thing I will add to, you know, what Deepak shared, a word of caution on ChatGPT. Please don't upload any of your clients' data on version 3.5.
Yeah.
Version 3.5 is what you have on your mobiles and on your laptops.
Yes.
It is the free version. Please use your client, upload your, okay, if you have to upload your client data, use the paid version, which is ChatGPT 4.0. Any idea what's the difference? Why it is so? The difference is when you are using the free version, whatever you are sharing with them is becoming part of the learning data. Learning data means a data which is available to be fetched by another user. For example, if Deepak has uploaded, say, data of, say, Unilever to do that TDS reconciliation, and he used the free version, which is 3.5. Now, tomorrow, say I am Unilever's competitor. I want to know whatever Unilever's data is available in ChatGPT,
Public forum, yeah.
in which Unilever didn't want to publish, because otherwise, so it is available on Unilever's website. So what I will do, since he used 3.5, which is free version, it is available for use by any one of us in this world. So if I search in the prompt, say the XYZ data of Unilever India, it will find out and it will say, yes, Deepak shared with us. And it will give me that data which Unilever didn't want to share with the world. Yeah. So please use that word of caution while using any of these open source tools. Remember, there is no problem with the tool. It is only that whether you are using the free service or the premium service. In case of premium service, which is chargeable, and it is only about 50 rupees a day. You know, if you take the license version, then it is behind the firewall. So whatever data you share, it is not that Deepak shared that data to do some analysis and Rajiv can use it. No, it is for his account only. It doesn't become part of the learning data. So that one word of caution I wanted to share. Otherwise, there is no problem in using any of these. In fact, all these are enablers. It will help you to get things done fast. In fact, every company is moving. We have also purchased ChatGPT's license, so that if any one of you is a user of Myntra, so we have used ChatGPT in the backend to enable Fashion GPT for you. So Myntra is part of the Flipkart group. So if you open Myntra, you will see somewhere in the middle of the first page itself, we have Fashion GPT, which means you just give few instructions and it will tell you which jeans to buy for you, which t-shirt to buy, which blazer to buy, and all those things. In the backend, we are using the paid version of ChatGPT. So that was on the previous part. Answer on your question. Yes, whether it is Flipkart or any other new age company, data is something which is becoming ultra important. And we have so much data. We want your help to understand how we can use it. How we can bring more and more insights out of it. And why insights? So that customer can make more purchase and the right purchase. And they can do it in the minimum possible time. That is our value proposition. If there's, for example, if Swiggy, Zomato, they have slightly different value proposition. But the point is, every company these days is trying to solve the problem. Like, number one, how we can serve the customer fast. Number two, how we can give them the right value proposition, which means good quality at the right price. So for that, web scraping has to happen. A lot of things happen in the backend. So data analysis is something which these days is becoming bread and butter for any accounting professional, be it accounting or auditing. Now, how to go about it? My personal suggestion, yeah, it's not an official one, it's not a Flipkart suggestion, it is Rajiv Gupta suggestion. Number one, since you're already on a weekend, try a very low cost online platform like Udemy, Coursera, and others. 400 rupees, 350 rupees, they give you very nice course. I personally like Udemy because in 350 rupees, I have bought a lot of courses. So you search for one data science course, which has good star rating, like more than 4.5 star rating out of 5, and has more than 13 to 15, more than 15 hours of content. Just listen to it. Just listen to it. Don't do practice along with it, and see whether you're finding it exciting or not. And if you're finding it exciting, see which section you're finding relevant, useful, because in data science, you learn a lot of things. Python, which is coding. You learn statistics, which can be done in Excel also. You learn visualization, which can be Tableau or Power BI, and few more advanced mathematics. You see which of these areas, and it also includes AI, ML, everything. You see which of these areas are exciting you, then go for a detailed or more expensive course for that. And that can be from IIMs, almost all IIMs are, conducting these programs. IITs are also really nice, including IIT Madras. And there are some private players as well. So these are the two-step process which I recommend for practicing. Many of you are into practice. The beauty is with the democratization of data of these tools. Today, you can start even today evening free of cost. Just Google Python or just Google R, alphabet R, find how to download it. You download on your laptop, you have the help guides in those website itself. You start playing with it. You don't need to buy any license. You don't need to do anything, and they are absolutely safe. Almost all the big companies in this world are using it. Even Google, background of Google is it, Netflix ka background where Flipkart is using, Amazon using, all the companies are using in the backend to code. And it is very easy. I mean, if you can become a chartered accountant, Python, R is nothing for any one of you. So that would be my suggestion to proceed.
I think the session is going very nicely. Time is not permitting because my past president Subodh Agarwal is sitting here. He's just monitoring the whole show. But still, we take the advantage because we started late, only 4 or 5 minutes. One important thing which he said about to buying this instead of free version. Yesterday, when I was discussing with the council people, they have done some analysis. In India, total the MEF firm, right? If we have gone through with the gross revenue is 15,000 crore. 77,000 chartered accountants are involved in this all. Gross income comes per chartered account is only 20 lakhs. That all credit goes to some big firm. Therefore, the figure is high. Otherwise, what will be the position? In that circumstances, right? To adopt the technology by my SMP, 85%. How it will be possible, and if we are not able to invest in this, the SMP, what will happen to my profession? So, Sharma-ji, you are here. I will request, because we have a very good fund with the institute, I can understand. Instead of going this pirated and free software, which again gives the problem to our client, right? And why don't you come out a full-fledged a program or on the cloud, all the practice software management certificate, this software, to face to meet out competence in the technology. I think that will be a great help. Otherwise, what is happening today? CP hours, people get enrolled, right? No video call. So their children, they are listening to the lecture and all. So compliance with the CP hours. I do not want in the future, in spite we are very much capable to provide the software and all to the institute, not buying from anybody or something. You may develop, open the accounting research foundation. Everywhere we have the money. I think that will be a great help to my chartered accountant, right? But last only, we do not have a much time. AI also is coming into very important. The senior people to whom we have invited, all the way they have come. We are sorry that we are not able to justify your knowledge to our members. We'll have some good program. There will invite you. It's a very important. It's a future, right? Any one of you can speak about AI. Will play a role for chartered accountant. In 2 minutes, we have to close the session.
I'll start and please. See, AI is the umbrella under which we have machine learning. Yeah, and machine learning is something which these days more and more companies are adopting. And when you enroll yourself for any data analysis, data science program, AI, ML is generally part of it. And it's everywhere. If you open any of these e-commerce webs, mobile app like Amazon, Flipkart, or any other, if you are searching for any product, for example, say Apple laptop, then it is recommending to you that if you're buying, say, Apple laptop, this is the mouse which will go really well with it. If you're buying this laptop, this is the carry case, the bag which will go very well with it. How they are doing it? Because of the data analysis which they are doing in the backend. So, and based on that data analysis, machine learning algorithm is out of lakhs of items which are being sold on that platform, it is suggesting only those 2 or 3 to you. Now, what is the background logic and all those that's for separate technical discussion. But AI ML is now becoming very similar to calculator. Now, someone asked me that if even today, coding can also be done by ChatGPT, you know, Python R, which I was talking about, ChatGPT can do it. So then why we have to learn data science? So it is as simple as calculators were there even 50 years ago, but still we learn mathematics. We learn how 2 plus 2 is 4 and why not 3. So why we learn mathematics? So that when calculator gives an output, we can interpret it and we can use that output. Similarly, in data science, you may learn coding, not so that you become the best coder in the world. It is so that when ChatGPT gives you the code, you are able to interpret it and say whether it is right, wrong, whether it will work for your client or not. Because please remember, ChatGPT always claims that it's a beta version. Yep. And any machine learning software can never be 100% accurate. It can never be your calculator. Calculator is 100% correct, but any machine learning AI software can never claim to be 100%. Hence, you need to know whether the output is right or wrong. How you will know if you don't know the coding? Yeah. Hence, learning coding is very important so that you have the reasonable knowledge to interpret the output which the ChatGPT or tomorrow, I don't know which GPT will come, but how to interpret is in your hands. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
thank you.
5 seconds. So we are in the hype cycle of AI right now. Okay, it's a novelty. Most of the people are trying to decipher what is happening. We have a reason to be worried about, but not frightened about it. So the way to approach, I would advise, fellow members, is to try, and what Rajiv is saying, try to gain some capabilities and understand what is happening. It's not going to take away our job immediately, but ultimately, if you don't join forces with them, you will be left behind. So you have a calibration time before AI gets into a substantive cycle of innovation. It is in a hype cycle of an innovation. So we have about probably, few quarters or a couple of years before it becomes mainstream. And by that time, if you develop the capability, it will be fantastic. And to one point which you mentioned earlier, Umesh bhai, one request from my side also, the way to achieve what Uttam Agarwal ji jo propose kar rahe hain, to help members in terms of doing from institute side, there is one additional side thing that you could do. Of course, you could create a curriculum for the alliances. But I think the most important thing is tie up with those institutes or the service providers or with people who can actually provide guidance to the member, products to the member at a substantive discount or a free, so that people don't have to invest, our members don't have to invest till the time they get the benefit out of it. Just like, you had done with Tally, correct? And members benefited, and after they benefited, there is no point paying, there is no problem in paying. And what he alluded to, I'll also do my bit in terms of coming to you from DocuX side. But if you try and do this kind of stitching for the practice management, whatever is required, Institute would be doing a great service to the members.
So thank you very much to all the panel speaker. Thanking to the council. And I was just worried about, because I delayed the session, but I come to know that my vice president and the president of Institute, Amarjit Chopra ji, is going to take the session. So there is no worry to me now if I take 5 minutes out of him. So I am very much confident, but still respecting him is the senior most president in my eyes, to whomsoever I have seen. So I will conclude here thanking to all the participants for, in spite of after the lunchtime, technical subject, you have taken the very much interest. I wanted to have the question answer. All the panel speaker will be here. If anybody has any special point to discuss with them, I can request on behalf of each one of you. They will be available, not disturbing the session of Chopraji, right, outside, and take the advantage of. Thank you very much, and great congratulations to all the council members.
Insightful this panel discussion, I would request, ladies and gentlemen, to please join to express our deepest gratitude to the distinguished individuals who have graced our stage today by joining your hands together for a huge round of applause. Mr. Ahmed, Mr. Dhanak, Mr. Gupta, your presence has made this discussion invaluable. In recognition of their dedication, leadership, and commitment, we have prepared token of appreciation, small but symbolic, to serve as a tangible reminder of our gratitude. May I now request Central Council member CA Umesh Sharma sir to please come up and present a memento to the chairman of the session and the chairman of the session. So we need to say you have been very impromptu and you have panel discussion the entire session very beautifully. Huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I request Sharma sir to also present a memento and a token of appreciation to Mr. Rajiv Gupta. I now request CA Panna Raj S. Sir, the respected Central Council member of ICAI, to please come up for the presentation of memento to Mr. Deepak Dhanak. So would request you to stay back on stage to also present a memento to Mr. Mahtab Uddin Ahmed sir. So please stay back for felicitations. Sir, Panna sir, please stay back for felicitation of Mr. Ahmed. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Now we gear up for the second technical session of the track D. So we'll start the next session in next 5 minutes. So let's freshen up and get ourselves comfortably seated again.